Hi, everyone. My name is Phil Cannato, implementation consultant with ProSymmetry. Today in Tempus, we're going to look at attribute management. We'll use that to create custom attributes. We will look at different attribute types, and we'll show you how to configure the layout of your project and resource attribute pages. So coming into the Tempus homepage, I guess the first question is, what is an attribute? So anything that we are tracking about our projects or our resources that exists, we can pull those attributes in. Here I've pulled in a few into this listing here. And when we go inside of our resource record, we see that we have our attributes page. But the question is, where do these attributes come from and how do we arrange them out on our attributes pages for our projects and resources? A couple notes before we get into it. This configuration will be mostly an admin function. So your Tempus admins will see these options. Your average Tempus user likely will not. Also, especially if you have been through an implementation, you know that we do have the ability for you to create custom attributes in bulk using the Excel data sync. In this video, we'll look at creating an attribute in the Tempus UI. I'm going to go into admin settings. I'm going to open up attribute management. You'll see at the top, we have our projects, resources, and assignments. So our three Tempus entities, if you will. We're going to create a resource record. And for this exercise, I want to create an attribute that is the selection type. So drop down type attribute. And I want my valid options to be my three offices. So we have London, office in New York, and an office in Tokyo. So by hitting save or create attribute here, the attribute will then be set up. A couple options out here to note. You're able to make it a required field. If you do that, you'll be required to define a default value here. You can also designate the attribute as being read-only, and if it's required to be unique. So for this exercise, I'm going to create this attribute. And just to go over real quick, if you want over the different types of attributes, if you want a more detailed definition of each type, please search for custom attributes out in our help center. We'll look at a couple of the most commonly used. We have our Boolean, so true or false. We have date types. We have currency. We've set up a selection, which is the drop-down style. We also have the multi-selection, which similar but allows you to select multiple. We have a number, which is going to be an integer, precision numbers, which allow for decimals. We have our resource attribute, which the valid selection values will be the resource records that exist in Tempus. Similarly, resources list will be the same thing. However, it is the multi-selection version. Other attributes, we have string and we have text box, URL, these are really the most commonly used. Something to note, an advantage of a string attribute is that there's no maintenance required, such as designating what are valid selection values. However, there are advantages to creating a selection style attribute where other areas of Tempus will enable you to use certain functionality. For example, roadmaps. Your projects can be aggregated on any selection value type attribute in Tempus. When we look at what if scenario planning, any resources can be aggregated based on selection type attributes. That functionality is not available, for example, for string or text. So having created an attribute, let's go ahead and add it to our layout. I'm going to go to the attribute layout tab here. I want to create a new section here. We're going to call it logistics. Save that. Into the section, I want to add the new location attribute. So I'm going to select it, drag it in here, and then we're going to go ahead and hit save. Now let's go see what we've done. I'm going to go back to the home page, go to resource management. In my columns, I'm going to pull in my location. So we see the attribute exists. We can populate it here. Here are our selection values that we've set. When we open up our resource record and we go to the attributes and identity page, we see at the bottom our logistics section has been added, as well as our new attribute appearing. Please visit our help center or reach out to your customer success manager with additional questions. Thank you for watching.